How are you?
I'm incredibly well. Earlier on today, I was playing around in Blender. You wouldn't have
Mm,
guessed that, I know.
mhm.
So I was playing around in Blender, and one of the things that we often do, especially for the 2D games, is we go to low spec and download one of their palettes. And
Mm.
I went through my notebooks a few hours ago, and I looked at something. What does palette script mean? I mean, I'm not carrying things on wooden pallets everywhere. And then it twigged as I was asking around about it that I meant color palettes. So I've actually written a script now that will take a color palette downloaded from low spec and will automatically not only import it into Blender, but set all of the material to the right color straight away without doing, well, with clicking one thing, which is run the script. Now, I'm
Very
actually going to
nice.
go over that in a couple of weeks' time when we do a live stream, and I'll break down the creation of that script. So we'll be doing a little focus on Python in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah,
Very nice. There is a plugin for that in Godot 3 that does exactly that. Takes the thing from low spec and puts it into your game. It's not currently there for Godot 4. I'm hoping that the author puts it into Godot 4 because it's great.
yeah,
But yeah, that's an awesome one. Speaking of Godot 4 is in beta now.
it is.
It is not yet production ready. I
How many
managed to
times
crash
did
it
you crash it?
3 times while chatting with Mikey on Discord for an hour this morning. Not huge crashes, like I didn't lose data, but crashed the desktop when I'm trying to change some random thing.
Yes.
Hello, Gerard.
How are
But
you doing?
we can now announce what our brand new Godot course is going to be. Now, I want to make it clear I'm not talking about the Godot Action RPG.
No.
We are also working on that. And when, I may want to move my mic closer. We are also we are also
You
working on
sound
that.
so much better when the mic is up close and personal.
Hello. We are also working on the God of 4 action RPG. And when God of 4 is in a stable enough state for us to start recording, I will be splitting my time between finishing off the God of 3.5 stuff, God of Action RPG, and God of for Everyone.
Yeah.
What's God of for Everyone? That's the new course. Mikey, show the image.
Ba-ba! That sound effect, I'm going to record a few of those so everybody can reveal their game with a
I mean, it's as good as the sound
ba-ba.
effect we've got in one of the games you're about to show. Um, so Godot for Everyone is our upcoming modular, I believe, Godot course. It is the spiritual successor to Discovering Godot, but we're not just remaking Discovering Godot for Godot 4. And there's a couple of reasons for that.
Hmm.
The big reason is so much has changed. It's not really a simple go in and change a few lines of code and redo it. Like there's whole new concepts. There's uh, things in GDScript that just don't work the same way. There's it's so much has changed that we really want to make a fresh course for this.
Good
However,
evening, Squarepeg.
hello, Squarepeg. However, we are working on the same kind of philosophy. So we'll start with some very simple 2D games. We're not going to start with a text game this time, mostly because I didn't want to repeat the games we had before, um, and I couldn't think of another kind of just normal text game that was fun to make and play. So
Mhm.
Looney Lips was kind of fun just to sit around and play. It's a toy, but we wanted to make some fun games. So Michael is going to be my Vanna White. He's going to be my Debbie McGee. He is going to showcase some of these games. And the first game that we're going to do in the course is Space Invadux. Now, the first few games are going to be very classic arcade style games for a
Yep.
reason. So, Mikey, will it be in Udemy? Says Giant Frog. I don't know yet. Maybe. Udemy is great for finding students. It's not great for other things. I don't really want to go into a whole breakdown of their structure.
Yes, it will all depend on a couple of things. One of them is what their terms are at the time, and
Mhm.
also the way that we have been launching courses at the moment will also depend on whether or not it's suitable for the Udemy platform or not. That is
Yep.
also critical.
And I want to welcome Giant Frog, who I will call King Ribbit for the next couple of minutes.
Nice.
Um, Now, I'm going to be a few seconds behind Mikey, so I'm not going to know when he's put that up unless he shares his screen with me here too, which sounds silly. So, Space Invadux is going to be the first course. It's going to teach very basic controls, concepts, How does Godot work? What is a scene? What is instancing? What is extending? What is a signal?
Yep.
We're also going to look at basic programming concepts. What's a function? What's a variable? What's an array? And we're going to use that to make a Space Invader clone. Mikey, do you have it ready?
I almost have it ready. I'm just trying to work out how to share my screen because I think it'd be better if you can see it real time. I think it's this button, and hopefully this doesn't kill the stream in any way. Hopefully you can now see what I can see, which is the Godot
I can see what you
game
can see.
engine. Excellent.
Mad Zinkerer says, well, they prefer Udemy simply because most of the online classes they own are there. They completely understand. I'm
Yeah.
very glad to hear it. Udemy has a lot of strong benefits. And for us, one of the big ones is discoverability. But they change their terms and conditions quite often, and we'll have to see.
Yeah.
We haven't made a decision on that yet. It's not impossible. Well, let me put that in a clearer way. It's possible that we won't go through Udemy, but we haven't reached a decision. Mikey, press play.
I need to share it first, which is
Will
this
you have
button
parts
here.
that you discuss the difference between Godot 3 and 4? Oh, that's a really good idea, Isaac. I don't think those are going to be central to the course, but what I might do is do videos between each module
Yep.
to explain how this is different from how you do it in Godot 3. Because if you're coming to Godot fresh, then you probably don't want to hear about the old engine. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Or maybe just part of the Godot tips rather than baked into the course. There's various ways we can approach that as an upgrade
Now,
path.
I will point out everything you're about to see is hot code. It is very early. It's basically proof of concept.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of things we're going to teach. Lots may change, and none of them have working options menus yet. So Mikey's going to be in charge of volume control.
Awesome. Hopefully it's not too loud. Right. The other thing is, good evening, Medicon. Okay, let's change it over to my screen. And I believe that the sound coming out of the desktop will be muted anyway.
I also want to point out that we are working with a whole cast of mascots. The idea being you can use them in multiple games. This one will star Legit Penguin and Space Duck, who were made by my girlfriend and her daughter. So thank you for that.
Now I'm going to turn up the audio for a little bit. Oh, you can shoot the projectiles coming down.
Yeah, they don't currently count as a score.
Oh, and I'm dead.
Oh, he died. Okay, so things we've got going in here. The game is changing the speed depending on how many ducks are left. Destructibles, terrain, all the rest of it. More than one bullet at once. Inauthentic. You are right. There's a few inauthentic touches here. We don't have to have 3 bullets at once. I put that in to show how that works.
Interesting factoid about the original Space Invaders, which is obviously the inspiration for this. Why did the flying saucers speed up, Jan?
Well, the flying saucers didn't, but the aliens.
Oh, the aliens, yes.
Okay, as you know, one of the key gameplay mechanics of Space Invaders, I'm saying as you know, I'm almost certain everyone watching has played this, but just in case you haven't, there's a whole bunch of space aliens, in this case, space ducks. And as you get rid of them, they go faster and faster and faster. This wasn't a game design choice. No one sat down and said, this will be fun. As there were less sprites on screen, the computer ran faster. And then when the technology got better, they just thought, leave it in. It's great.
Fantastic.
Hello, Deirdrick. So yeah, our first game is going to be a nice little Space Invaders clone. There's nothing hugely fancy about it, but it's a quick little win, fun little soundtrack. Yep. All the graphics are made by us and our loved ones, which I'm quite happy with.
Yeah.
And it's a fun little way to spend time. There's a couple of bugs I want to fix in that. Specifically, I can't have more than 2 rows of space ducks because of the way I've chosen to decide when they have to turn.
Yep.
Slight echo.
Slight echo was fixed.
Thank you.